All right, Ambitions fans. Better late than never, right? I mean, last Tuesday's episode review going up the same day as the mid-season finale. Okay, you know what? My bad. I've been busy. It's my birthday week. GameStop has been having this insane sale where action figures are $5, so I bought a crap ton of them for saving because they'll be worth something. And on top of that, Young Justice just had their season finale for season 3. They dropped the last 3 episodes of that. Dave Chappelle has dropped a comedy special on Netflix, which I have not watched yet because I need to do ambition stuff first. And yeah, we did some changes to the channel. Greenleaf Review. Come at me. But in any case, let's jump right into last week's episode, X Factor. And just as a disclaimer, I will be doing another video about who will die in the mid-season finale tonight. And it looks like Joaquin, is that Joaquin? Bella's son, Bella and Evan's son. It looks like he might get abducted. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait on that. But in any case, let's just focus on my episode review for last week's episode, X Factor. Honestly, I should have listened to I honestly say a majority of people hit me up personally. Dude, this was a great episode. Watch it. I got to agree. I give it 8 out of 10, though. A solid 8 out of 10. I think it was pretty good. Any episode without Lori is a heartbreaker. But in any case, let me just say that Stephanie was definitely on the back end for most of the episode. I mean, I think we only saw this at the last time I recall seeing her this flustered was at the Women's Power Summit, where at first she was just, kicking ass and taking names, but things just shifted as soon as she saw Lori and Carly kissing and then got the drink spilled on her. And then she eventually got poisoned. But yeah, in this episode, the real estate investors, I believe, they were not playing games. And the episode kicked off with just that when Greg Peters texts her saying, hey, time's up. She calls Rondell, no answer, and actually she's seeing Titus, who, however, can't help her in order to, allow her to get more time. If I'm not mistaken, extend the time on the injunction for her to get signatures for the petition. And, because he's so busy with Purifoy. So basically, Marilyn and her husband come to see Evan and pretty much shut him down, saying that they're moving their company to Charlotte, North Carolina. And Evan is stunned, pretty much revealing the fact that, Stephanie was blackmailing Marilyn, who I believe it was confirmed that she told all the blackmail to her husband involving the dead rocker or whatever. So then we have Amara and Karen. Karen, I believe she said she was on a trip to DC, who comes back to see like her best prosecutors or, agents are going through a bunch of turmoil with Damien being beaten, saying it was Amara's husband. And then, it come to grips that those two had an affair, which she needed to bring to HR. So everything was falling apart in Amara's office. Not to mention it was confirmed that Damien has taken a few weeks off as a leave of absence. Then we have Bella going over to Thelma's place with Inez. Oh God, I hope I pronounced that right. I think I said Inez in the last episode review. Basically, comes over for a gift to say I'm sorry. Basically, because those two had a mini falling out because Bella was upset that her mom allowed Evan to come over to see their son. I guess you could say off of her schedule, basically not at the scheduled time. And, Thelma pretty much gave her a good talking to involving the fact that you only get one mama. You need to work this out. Your I'm sorry's can't do anything once she's gone. Tight ass skirts. that was a funny scene. I love Rondell. Okay, then we have Stephanie and in the boardroom. And basically all the investors are losing faith in her, and I really can't wait to see what's going to happen when her dad finds out about this, because it was established early on that her dad would kick her out of the family firm if she kept trying to do things behind his back. And on top of that, losing Greg Peters and losing a bunch of investors, meaning that, she screwed the pooch big time. And who was that one woman, Lucinda, who was pretty much, trading blows with Stephanie, and it really did look like Stephanie was on the back end. And even though she tried to, I guess you could say, pull a last minute upset about how if you don't have my family in your corner, you don't dare make enemies out of us. And then, Cal, she pretty much shut him up, just basically saying, hey, if you leave this deal now, then you know what? You're going to be kicking yourselves later. And yeah, I mean, everybody's lost faith in her for good reason. I mean, time and time again, oh, it's being worked out. We're hammering out the details, this and that. But yeah, she's literally in danger of losing it all. Evan goes to see Stephanie, who is pretty much, trying to get any kind of blackmail on Lucinda to use that against her in order to prevent her from pulling out of the English Rose development. And he's fired up because of the fact that Marilyn and her husband came over, basically saying that, your wife has pushed us to North Carolina. Basically, I believe they said the deal with North Carolina wasn't as good as the one in Atlanta, but the fact that Stephanie was blackmailing Maryland so hard was enough to just say, you know what, we'd rather go somewhere with a less lucrative deal than deal with your, blackmailing B of a first lady. So Evan decides to put his foot down, like, no, 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 I'm the one taking charge of this situation. And then we have Bella stopping by to see Stephanie in regards to the fashion contract that she signed before, getting counsel on it. But the big question is, and here are some, I guess you could say, planting seeds of dissent. We learned that, well, Stephanie is a bit suspicious how she was able to obtain this lucrative contract, provisionary contract with a fashion company of that level. And, because of my prowess, my designs, and social media presence, but Stephanie isn't buying it. So we know that Stephanie is going to do some digging and find out that Evan had something to do with it. So then we have Evan busting in the elevator with Bella, who I guess you could say, in a way, in a very Jim and Candace Young fashion from the Haves and the Have-Nots. You know how Candace was friends with Amanda to get to Jim, but in this case, Bella is, air quotes, friends with Stephanie, and Evan isn't too happy about it. So basically, stay away from my wife, or I'm going to make your life a living hell. So this is, Evan ain't playing. Then we have Titus and Amara talking pretty much, about how Hunter wasn't upset about, him being arrested for those charges. He knew that he wasn't the one that attacked Damien. And, it's pretty funny, the Hunter and Titus conversations. But the one the one in tonight's episode doesn't look too friendly. But in any case, what Titus said, what's done in the dark will eventually come. What did he say? Was the about the truth, what's done in the dark will eventually come to the light, setting you free. And I was looking at Amara the whole time like, And then we have Ignacio, I hope I pronounced that right, over at Bella's place. And what's her name? Perla, Perla, Bella's friend. I believe that's friend, not sister. I could be wrong. But in any case, they have a heart-to-heart about, how she feels a bit jealous of Bella's success. She's happy for her, but it's like, I want my time to shine as well as a model. I mean, your designs are great. You got great social media. All these powerful men want to come at you. You have a great son, a loving mother. And Bella pretty much shuts it down. Like, look, you don't know everything I'm going through as a single mom, busting my hump to get where I am. And her friend, when they hug, she's kind of looking like side-eye. And I'm just like, okay, this is a deception brewing. And then we have Stephanie going to see Rondell, who doesn't want to sign. And then it turns out that Titus did decide to help her out. And that was Stephanie, man, she looked pitiful. She looked parched. So then we have Ignacio again, impressed by Bella, who, told her friend earlier that, hey, everything's professional. Wait, what was it? Strictly professional. He goes in for a kiss because they get to know each other, but she denies it. So, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. And then we have Stephanie going over to see Titus, pretty much wondering how in the world did you win that case by giving Rondell an extra week to gather signatures. And they seem to they're going to butt heads in the near future, but this just goes back to how this for most of this episode, Stephanie was on the defense because she was getting slammed against every wall. It was just crazy. So basically, she's trying to intimidate Titus, but basically because Hunter doesn't know about him, working the whole English Rose. Oh, sorry. English Rose development, I guess you could say, halt to that. And I guess the key word to pissing off Stephanie is daddy, because I think that Lucinda was like, hey, you know what? When we all got into the English Rose deal, it was because we were working with your father and not you, Stephanie. And then in this case, Titus was like, oh, how's daddy doing? And Stephanie didn't like that. So we can pretty much tell that anytime she's either compared or belittled, when she feels like people look at her father as a greater, I guess you could say, powerful figure than her, she easily gets pissed off. So that's just something to keep in mind. Let's see here. Okay, we're almost done here. Evan and Rondell have a good moment, and I think I don't know if I did a video on this yet, but basically, they make a good point, and I'm not saying people should just give up on their goals, but development is going to happen one way or another. You can only postpone the inevitable for so long. Not to sound like Thanos, I am inevitable. But, change will happen. And, Evan does make a good point. Like, he only wants what's best for the family. And neighborhoods like that, do need to be revamped at some point, to make it safer for everyone involved. But I can see Rondell's point. But at the same time, sometimes you hold on to something so long that it falls to pieces. And if it isn't Peters, it will just be another development team coming through, and they'll eventually win. So you never know. Then, Evan sees what's his face, Constable Williams. I believe that's the blackmail he uses to trump Marilyn's husband later on in the episode, where he pretty much shuts it down. Marilyn and her husband begrudgingly agree to stay in Atlanta, and Marilyn reveals the truth that she was the one that poisoned Stephanie at the summit, and they calm down. But pretty much Stephanie uses the fire of wanting to fight Marilyn by seeing how Evan shut them down and they have office sex. And I think I actually skipped over a part, but I just had to say it. So basically, oh yeah, earlier we had Stephanie looking at her email and seeing that there were countless real estate marketers who just pulled out of the deal. So she has lost big time. Then on top of that, we see that she calls Nick to get a bodyguard for Rondell because she knows that, and I believe Greg Peters also texted her saying, hey, it's out of my hands at this point. Sorry, Steph. Meaning that, whatever happens to get the Peters development going through is going to happen, meaning that Rondell and whoever else is trying to fight the good fight is in harm's way. So then we get to Damian and Titus talking. Damian's like, look, I just want to let you know that Amara lied. I sent you an email to your Pure 4 account. Check it out. Basically, all the text messages and voicemails between Amara and Damian. And in ironic fashion, like the truth will set you free and you'll be out of the darkness and come into the light. Amara gets home to a dark house to see Titus there, and they have a falling out. And Titus leaves, and that's the end of the episode. So overall, 8 out of 10. I actually enjoyed the episode from start to finish. And it was pretty good. Now, the question is, what's going to happen in this mid-season finale? It looks like we have a lot to look forward to based off the preview alone. And like I said, I will be doing a video going over my thoughts on who will die. Is Joaquin going to be kidnapped or something along those lines? And yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you can click that subscribe button. And on top of that, make sure you comment your thoughts below on what you thought of last week's episode. And remember, if you're not big on ambitions, that's cool. Everybody has their own thing. This is going to be the last episode for, I don't know the return date. Let me check real quick. Yeah, we don't have a return date, but if I were to assume, I would guess that we probably won't see ambitions back until early 2020. And again, that's just an estimation on my part. I don't know for sure. I think ratings wise, it would be smart for it to wait until the haves and the have-nots come back. That way it will come on right after the haves and the have-nots in order to boost ratings. Just my opinion. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. And I will talk to you in the next video. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.